Hi, my name is Natalie, and I've been teaching and practicing Tantric meditations for the past 10 years. And I talk about it on this YouTube channel that I recently opened. So welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're a subscriber. And thank you for being here in this video. I have talked a lot about different techniques and how to do tantric masturbation and how to add breath work and how to start working with the sexual energy in a different way than we're used to, which is not from a place of horniness and just to ejaculate to fulfill my physical horny needs, but to start looking at the sexual energy in a different way, in a spiritual way. It is life force energy, and we want to respect it, and we want to start working with it in a different way so that we can better ourselves, so that we can feel better in our lives, so we can have more energy to do things. But I also find it very important to talk about the emotional side of things, because, you know, if we just look at masturbation from a technical point of view, you have your penis, you hold it, you rub it, and then you orgasm. It's not that difficult to do. You didn't need anyone to really teach you how to do that. Yes, I can tell you to do it slower. I can tell you to breathe more and teach you different techniques of how to work with the sexual energy, which is what I do. But that still keeps it on a very physical level. I have no problem with the physical level. It's important. We have a physical body. We want to learn how to work with it in a different way. But what about the emotional side? And then I uploaded this post that I wrote about being lonely. Not like being a lonely human being, because I'm not. I have an amazing life and amazing friends and family, and I love my job, and I really do love my life at the moment, especially with this new YouTube channel where I'm getting so much love and support from you guys. So I can't say that I'm a lonely person, but sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I do feel lonely. And then if I don't acknowledge that, and if I don't sit with that energy, with that emotion that came up, it's going to bother me throughout the day, and it's going to cause me to do things and say things that maybe normally I wouldn't do or say. When we talk about masturbation, we want to find out the emotions, the negative emotions that cause us to want to masturbate. So, you know, we're living our life, you're living your life, you're sitting at home, and suddenly you get this idea, I'm going to touch my penis until I orgasm and ejaculate all over the place, which is fine. What happened a few minutes before? What is the emotion? Because from what I understand, this is how it works. You have an emotion in your body, in your subconscious, in one of the chakras. It's unacknowledged, so you probably don't even know that that emotion is there, because, you know, that's the subconscious, that's the whole point. But you have that negative emotion. It could be loneliness, it could be sadness, it could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be a lot of different negative emotions that you're not aware of. And the body, the body wants to help us survive, right? And to thrive. So when the physical body realizes that that emotion is there, it feels like that emotion is dangerous to you, because it's a negative emotion, it's going to bring you down. So what does it do to help you survive? It will plant a thought in your head that tells you how you're going to fix that negative emotion. And this, again, you could be unaware of the negative emotion, but then you are aware of the thought. And the thought would be, let's masturbate and watch porn. And you're just thinking, I had that thought come up in my head. I don't know, so I'm just going to do it. I guess I want to do it. What I'm trying to say is there is an emotional blockage that caused that very specific thought to come into your head. Your body's trying to help you survive, and it's telling you a story. If you go and masturbate, you're going to feel better, and that will increase your chances of survival. But if you sit with this negative emotion a bit longer, it might increase the chances of not surviving. You might die from this sadness. You might die from this stress. That's how the body sees things. It doesn't know the difference between the different emotions. It just knows, you know, a negative emotion causes you stress. Stress causes you death. That's how the body sees things. And the body doesn't want you to die. It wants you to survive. So when it acknowledges, when it sees that negative emotion in your subconscious, your body is going to try and help you not feel that negative emotion. So it's going to tell you to do something. It might tell you to masturbate if you're lonely, but it also might tell you to eat because that's how your body has learned how to survive and how to deal with negative emotions, by eating, and then you feel better. You don't, but you think you do. It might tell you to go buy something. It might tell you to do drugs. It might tell you to call all your exes and find someone who will love you. It might tell you to go out and find someone to have sex with. It might tell you to go to a prostitute. It might tell you to go to OnlyFans. Our mind is going to suggest different activities and different things for us to do in order to feel better emotionally. The problem is, these things don't make us feel better emotionally. Most of the times they make us feel worse, and then we're back to the starting point and we are still stuck with that negative emotion in our subconscious, and then the next day it's all going to happen over and over again until we stop this vicious cycle. And again, the vicious cycle was intended to help us survive, but it's not helping us survive anymore. It's just causing us more stress, more negative emotions. It's making us sick, and it's killing us. So we want to bring mindfulness to those moments in our life where a negative emotion did come up, but we were not aware of it. And we want to catch it before our mind tells us to do things to help that negative emotion. I don't know if that's clear or not. Let me know in the comments, because when we start talking about these things, I know there's a lot of resistance and it can sound weird and complicated and unreal to a lot of people. But this is just a basic survival mechanism of our body. Because we live in a modern world where there are no actual threats, physical threats on our life, and we don't actually have to survive anymore because there's an abundance of everything. That mechanism of survival still works, and it needs to activate itself somehow. So it does with our stress and our negative emotions. What are the negative emotions that can make our body tell us that we need to masturbate and orgasm? With every man, with every person, with every woman, it's different. The main ones that I have come across that I think cause us to want to masturbate are loneliness. Because when you masturbate, you feel less lonely because you're having fun with yourself. Porn, any kind of online sexual interaction, they can come from loneliness, from depression, from anxiety, from sadness. And maybe you can tell me in the comments what you think your negative emotions are that activate that thought, let's go masturbate. Usually, it's not from horniness. Maybe 1 out of 10 times, you're just horny and you want to masturbate. The other 9 times, there's an emotion there that you did not pay attention to, that you did not notice was activated in your psyche. And now it's pushing you to do something that you know is going to harm you and do you no good, but you still want to do it. And that's because you haven't acknowledged the negative emotion that created that thought in the first place. So emotional work is we want to be aware of what emotions have been triggered. What are we feeling in that moment? What did we feel a moment before that thought came up? And if we see the whole mechanism working, when the thought comes up next time, maybe we cannot do the thing we wanted to do and just agree to sit with that unpleasant emotion. And that's the work. It's just sitting with it. Crying, screaming, hitting a pillow, just sitting with the negative emotion. And after you've done that and you start to feel better and you still want to do that thing you wanted to do before, go ahead and do it. That's fine. But you might not want to do it anymore. And that's kind of magical if you ask me, because if someone's addicted to masturbation and they decided, next time before I masturbate, I'm just going to sit with whatever I'm feeling. I'm going to figure out what I'm feeling. I'm going to explore my emotions before I immediately go and do something that's going to help me with them for a second, but not actually help, just make it worse. And maybe if I agree to sit with that emotion and to cry and let it go and just be with it, maybe I won't want to masturbate anymore afterwards. And maybe I'll do something more productive with my time. Go on a date with a real human being, female form if you like, but a real human being and not a fantasy of someone online. And that's my recommendation. And that's how we use the emotional work with an addiction for masturbation or pornography or ejaculations or basically any other addiction. We want to use the emotional work to explore the addiction, to explore the emotions that are beneath it and to heal them so that this addiction doesn't control us and we can go back to doing that thing just as a pleasurable thing we do and not something we have to do, don't want to do, can't stop doing, keep doing, feel guilty. You know, that whole vicious cycle of addiction doesn't have to be that way. And we can all start doing the emotional work from today. So my recommendation to end this video, my recommendation for the next week would be every time you want to masturbate, stop and breathe for a few minutes and ask yourself, what else am I feeling besides horniness? Am I feeling lonely? Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling anxious? What else am I feeling besides wanting to masturbate? And maybe sit with that emotion for a while and agree that, you know, with yourself that if after that meditation you still want to do it. But check, because maybe after you've meditated and sat with that negative emotion, maybe suddenly you want to do something else and you can kind of give up on that specific masturbation session that you were going to do. I hope that helped. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments and how you deal with these things, and if you've done any emotional work or if you're going to try to do the emotional work, let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching this video. I do private sessions where I talk to people about these emotional blockages and how it works and how to deal with it in a different way with the help of meditation and inner work. So all the details are below. You're more than welcome to talk to me, and I would love to help you on your journey. And yeah. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you in my next video.